Every week, the program Sports Nation introduces you to the main events of Kazakhstan and world sports. We cover large tournaments, find outstanding heroes, and open doors to the best sports arenas in the country. In today's program, we will introduce you to the national team of Kazakhstan in parachuting. We will talk to the champion of the Paralympic Games, Zulfiya Gabidullina. Also, we'll find out more about Wushu and how many followers it has in the country. We have a parachute sport. It develops and has quite good positions at the international arena. Anyone who thinks that it is dangerous is mistaken. It is much more dangerous to ride a speed bike. They look at the earth from above and land in a well-calculated place. These are the rules of parachuting sport. When there are several people in the sky, it is already crew, which must safely perform the work. Elements of group acrobatics for astronauts are mandatory. The approach to a human in the sky is almost like docking of spacecraft.
Например, есть классический парашютизм, точность приземления.
For example, there are classic paratroopers. They work on the accuracy of the landing. From a height of 3,000 meters, their task is to land at a given point. There is a group acrobatics, when people in the air build figures simultaneously. In dome acrobatics, people do the same thing, but with open parachutes.
Это когда уже под раскрытыми куполами люди делают то же самое.
This is the modern direction of parachuting. The elements become more complicated, and the prestige of victory in similar tournaments grows accordingly. In just a couple of decades, the number of types of parachuting, both in the world and in Kazakhstan, has increased many-fold.
Казахстанский спорт культивирует 4 вида парашютизма.
Kazakhstan parachute sport represents 4 types: group acrobatics, dome parachuting, classic parachuting, and dome all-around parachuting. In 1982, all aviation sports were combined in order to make it more popular. If the sport is popular enough, it is accepted into the Olympic family. Paratroopers have not yet succeeded to become members of the Olympic family. Although Olympic Committee has long been interested in the entertaining part of the sport, Kazakhstan Sky Conquerors are regularly included in the top 3 of the prize winner at various international championships. We are 6-time champions of Asia. In Asia, we share the first places with the Chinese parachutists. There is no equal in dome acrobatics. Now we have a change of generations. Many people retired. We are training young athletes. Although there are not many young athletes in the country, old-timers of a national team admit that romanticism of this sport has disappeared. This sport is very expensive, and often the sportsman himself has to bear the costs. Everything is okay with the technical side. There are parachutes, helicopters, and planes. If the government will take the matters in its own hands, then the sports can even go a level higher. We have great potential. Parachute sport has gained the excitement, but lost the people. The new generation of athletes needs to try very hard to keep Kazakhstan's 7th place in the world rating. Coming up, Zulfiya Gabidullina will talk about the life in the 90s, the problems of disabled people, and her future career plans. Zulfiya Gabidullina, at 50 years old, became the first Paralympic champion from Kazakhstan. Despite her age, she continues to work hard and is determined to set the world record again, which she also established. Zulfiya, Hello, how are you doing?
Hello, I'm fine, very good. Thank you. We're getting ready for Asian Games. Now I'm only training for 4 hours a day. 2 hours at the gym, 2 hours in the pool.
You have been doing sports for about 30 years, but you began to train professionally only in 2007. How did this happen?
Back in the day, we did not have any clubs. We did it ourselves. But if a person wants to do something, then he does it. Sport gradually has become my rehabilitation. As I said, nothing happened at the beginning, but later we were allowed to go to the pool. Generally, I trained at home, on land.
How is it like?
At home, I did swimming exercises. I trained my hands, I trained my back. Back then, there was no internet. I read books about swimming.
But the conditions that we have now and that we had before aren't comparable. It has been difficult to even move.
Yes, it took me an hour to go to the pool from my house, and then again another hour back home. I swam for 2 hours. Then I came home and trained at home too. I set a goal and I go to it. And in 2007 we went to Taldykurgan, to the championship of Kazakhstan. Sattar Irgalievich went with us, our curator. When he saw me, he decided to train me, and he trained me for free.
Is he your first coach?
He's my first coach, and he still works with me. He was a former boxer, studied in boarding school, played for the national team. But because of health problems, he had to quit sports.
What did he give you in the first place?
He gave me the opportunity to believe in myself, in what I am capable of. In 2007, he started to work with me. In 2009, we went to the competitions and I did not win there. And I said that I'm already old and I will stop training. He said, "Are you crazy? We just started training." And back in 1990, I was asked, "What are you dreaming about?" I said that I would like to go to the Olympic Games. I just said that knowing that we didn't develop the sport. I said that, and in 2012, after 12 years, I got to the Olympics. Then I remembered that that was my dream. And the coach said to me, "You wished for getting into Olympics, but not for the victory. You did not win, but your wish was granted."
When you came to Rio de Janeiro, you came with a desire to win gold and set a record.
To be honest, no. I was third in the rating. I thought about how to get into the top 3. We had a lot of training. We were trained very seriously.
When did you start?
Somewhere in 2015. At the time, the head of Paralympic Committee was Darhan Kalitaev. Then Kairat Boranbayev took over. The Paralympic Committee seriously took our training, and we went to training camps. We were in Colorado, the Olympic Center. It would have been a shame to be there and not to win a medal. Many of our sportsmen improved their results. I myself won.
The first feeling was a shock.
Yes, it was a shock. I realized that I won. The fact that I became the Olympic champion, I realized later. And I couldn't understand. My coach was dancing. Everyone was taking pictures. My eyes started to tingle. Everyone asked me why I was crying. From happiness? I said yes. But I was crying from flashes of cameras. For me, it was such a pride that our flag rose. The national anthem was playing. I had tears in my eyes, not from the fact that I won, but from the fact that I saw our flag rising.
Now you're a national hero, but there was a period in your life when you needed money and sold newspapers.
У меня дочка болела очень сильно. Ей нужна была операция. Я маму похоронила, когда дочке было 9.
My daughter was very sick. She needed an operation. My mother died when my daughter was 9 months old. Of course, everything was done by my mother. My pension money was not enough. We went with my daughter to the kindergarten. I put her in my chair with me. I sewed a sack and sold newspapers this way. It became very hard to move in my wheelchair. I was selling clothes. They were given to me for sale. For that money, I bought food. I knew that I would not be able to work like this in the winter. My pension money was used for medical treatment of my daughter.
На эти деньги я покупаю продукты. Я знаю, что зимой не выйду. А на пенсию я лечила ребенка.
How much was your pension?
Ну, в то время, я уже не помню, такая 12, 14, потом 16, как постепенно повышалась. Но пенсия была очень маленькая.
12,000, 14, and then 16,000. It gradually increased, but still was very small. I was selling things in the house. I advertised about it. People came, and I told them that I need money for the operation of my daughter. Please do not bargain. People understood. Things were old. The furniture was old, but of a good quality. We stayed only with one piece of furniture. Now my daughter is fine. Gradually, I bought everything that I needed at home. And I always met good people. I bought a couch and I could slowly pay off of my pension.
Хорошие. Я покупала в рассрочку. Возьму диван. И с пенсии рассчитываюсь потихоньку.
And how do you manage to stay in good physical shape and at the same time improve your results despite the age?
А по состоянию своего здоровья. Потому что в моем положении надо постоянно заниматься спортом.
In my situation, you need to exercise constantly. If I won't train, my hands will start to hurt. Therefore, I need muscles to be in good shape. If they are relaxed, I won't be able to hold even a spoon. I won't be able to ride my wheelchair. I have to train for at least an hour to keep my muscles in tone. I started training only at 24, not since I was a child. Maybe that's why I can do a lot of things now.
24 года только начала, не с детства. Может, поэтому я еще могу много сделать.
Will we see you at the Paralympic Games in 2020?
I plan to get to these games.
And after that, have you thought about coaching?
I thought about that, but I think the consultation is more appropriate for me. Where can a child go? What kind of sport will be suitable for him for health reasons? I like children very much. They like me. Parents who have disabled children, they come to me for advice, what kind of sport they should do. Now everything is open. You just need to do it and help a child to attend those classes.
У него сын больной и знает, что я чемпионка, она подойдет ко мне и спросит, куда можно это ребенка дать.
Even at home, you can do sports. In fact, that's how I began. I want to advise parents, don't overprotect your children. Don't protect them from the things they will benefit from. If they will fall down, let them fall. They will rise and will become stronger. I also had many obstacles. I didn't immediately become a champion.
Опекать его, лишь чтобы он не упал. Пусть упадет. Он поднимется. Зато в следующий раз он будет сильнее. У меня тоже было много преград. Я же не подняла сразу на высокую гору пьедестала.
When you were 5 years old, as a result of a terrible accident, you became disabled. Since then, you're moving in a wheelchair. Where did you get the strength to move forward?
Благодаря своим родителям, благодаря своим родственникам, благодаря своему дяде, тете. Они меня не опекали сильно, конечно, я...
Thanks to my parents and relatives, thanks to my uncle, my aunt. Of course, I was spoiled, but I didn't care much about that. Only when my daughter got sick, I understood, my mother, how hard it was for her. She saw with her own eyes how I was hit by a car. It was so hard, and my mother has aged in an instant. She got
мама
thin.
сразу постарела. Она была худенькая. Мы же не ценим родителей, пока они живые. Мы ценим, когда они умерли. А надо ценить. Я теперь сейчас всем говорю, цените родителей.
We do not appreciate our parents while they're alive, only after we lose them. Then we start to appreciate them. Now I tell everyone, give love to your parents while they're close to you.
Ну зачем ты меня спасла после аварии? Я так мучаюсь, я так жить не хочу. А она мне говорит, представляете, вот что ты меня так обидела.
At the time I offended my mother, I said, "Why you saved me after the accident? I'm so tormented. I don't want to leave anymore." She was so hurt, and she left. I was very angry at that time. I didn't want anything. I was in pain. When I gave birth to my daughter, I understood my mother. I heard her. When I was pregnant, I was told to have an abortion. I said that I don't want to, and doctors said that I was selfish, that I thought only about myself. I didn't think about what will happen when I will get old. They said she will want to have a lot of things and I won't be able to give it to her. And I said that I will give her everything that I could. Now my child has everything.
Вы не думайте, она захочет многое, а вы не сможете дать. Я говорю, я ей дам то, что смогу дать, я ей дам. Сейчас у моего ребенка есть все.
I am very glad that we managed to talk. Thanks for the interview. Next in the program, Coach Evgeny Kolokolnikov will teach us how to distinguish Wushu from other martial arts. The East is always about the tradition. It has a lot of them. Classes always begin with a greeting, right fist and left palm. It's like a yin and yang, like a man and a woman. They always go together. Wushu is quite developed in Kazakhstan. It has been developing for 25 years in the country. It is developed in more than 9 regions and cities of Kazakhstan. We are known in the international arena. We have silver and bronze medalists of world championships in Europe. Yevgeny is the son of one of the founders of Wushu in Kazakhstan, Andrei Kolokolnikov. Martial art for him and for his family is more than just a hobby.
Это не только спорт, это не только физические упражнения. Это и начиная от...
It's not just about sports and exercise. This starts from respect for colleagues and ends with meditation. This, in a complex, gives the effect and trains real warriors. They just feel confident and live with it.
Воины. Они просто чувствуют в себе уверенность и с этим живут.
The concept of Wushu is closely intertwined with Kung Fu. In fact, it's the same thing. Only Kung Fu is mastery in various arts and not necessarily martial arts. You probably saw in China how mostly older people do gymnastics in the morning. This gymnastics is called Taijikwan. It is an integral part of Wushu, and it originates from the imperial court.
Мы вообще берем в группы с 4 лет. Вот. Это самое такое время, когда можно начинать закладывать хороший фундамент.
We accept the training groups from the age of 4. This is the time when you can start laying the foundation. Wushu is a very good foundation for children. After training for 1 to 2 years, they can go to another sport. The child will be well coordinated. He will have a very good reaction and will be ready to become a leader.
Иметь хорошую реакцию, вот, и в целом, готов быть лидером где-то.
The arsenal of military techniques in Wushu is extremely extensive. In the first place, it is a shock technology, capturing moves, defensive techniques. It is also possible to work with all sorts of things, from chopsticks to swords. Working with all this requires great coordination and good flexibility.
Исходное положение, кулаки на поясницу. Базовое упражнение.
The starting position. The fists on the lower back. Basic exercise. Such one. Attack from your side.
И делаем удар тыльной стороной кулака на меня. Я делаю защиту. Постоянно посещаем и что-то.
We constantly visit and take something new from China. We go to China every year, either for competition or training. We take all the origins from the founder of this type of martial art.
Этого вида берем все истоки.
Wushu, like many other martial arts, professes the well-known principle: the best fight is one that did not take place. Thanks to Wushu, you can treat and prevent scoliosis, hypertension, and other diseases. The video of the week concludes our program. The European Championship in mini football ended in Ukraine, where the national team of Kazakhstan won bronze medals. In the match for third place, our players were stronger than the British team. The victory was with a score of 2-0.